Hello everyone, today we cover the most haunted hotels in America. The Congress Plaza Hotel in Chicago, Illinois has been standing for over 120 years. They say it's the most haunted place in the city. I've been there, and let me tell you, something's not right. Guests have seen a man in a dark suit appear at the end of the hallway, but when they get close, he vanishes into thin air. One guest told me he woke up and saw a woman standing in the corner, just staring at him. It all started back in 1893 when they built this massive hotel for the World's Fair. But it wasn't long before things got weird. Al Capone, the infamous gangster, used to stay there. Some say he never left. The 1886 Crescent Hotel in Eureka Springs looks beautiful from the outside. But inside? That's where the nightmares begin. I walk those halls late at night. The air feels heavy, like something's watching you. The 12th floor? It's completely sealed off. Nobody goes up there. I asked a bellhop about it once. He just shook his head and walked away. He told me about the time he saw a nurse in old-fashioned clothes pushing a gurney down the hall at 2 a.m. When he called out to her, she turned and disappeared right into the wall. He spun around, but the room was empty. He checked out that same night. The staff won't talk about it, but you can feel the tension when you mention it. Some wake up feeling like someone's sitting on the edge of their bed. But when they open their eyes, nobody's there. The phone rings, but when you pick up, there's no one there. A security guard once told me he saw a child run across the lobby at 3 a.m. One showed me a photo taken in the hallway mirror. There was a face staring back, but no one was standing there when the picture was snapped. Thing is, there were no families checked in that night. Room 441 has a dark history. A woman was murdered there long ago. People who sleep in that room say they feel someone kicking them in bed at night. The air felt thick, like someone was standing right next to me. By the time she ran to get help, they'd stop. But the mirrors were all fogged up, like someone had just taken a hot shower. The TV turned on by itself in the middle of the night. When I got up to turn it off, I saw a shadow move across the wall. One bartender told me he's seen wine glasses slide off shelves on their own. He doesn't work the night shift anymore. Strange things happen all over the hotel. Lights turn on and off by themselves. But there's one hotel that stands out even here. The Hotel Monteleone. He told me about the ghost of a little boy named Morris. He always disappears around the corner. One family said their toddler woke up in the middle of the night, laughing and talking to someone named Morris. People have seen glasses move on their own and felt cold spots that seemed to follow them around the room. But they were alone in the room. Back in the 1890s, Morris's parents were staying at the hotel. The boy got sick and died there. Guests have reported seeing a man in a suit appear in the bathroom mirror. When they turn around, he's gone. The walls seem to whisper stories of the past. We've only scratched the surface of America's ghostly inns. The Hotel del Coronado looks like a fairy tale castle on the beach. But behind those red turrets, there's a century-old mystery that's never been solved. But when he goes to check, there's no one there. But height isn't what makes this place famous. It's the lady in red. The hotel looks elegant, but step inside and you might feel a chill run down your spine. If you're into real creepy stories like this, hit subscribe. I've got more. 5 days later, they found her dead on the hotel steps. She'd shot herself. Gone. They're alone, but the voices are clear as day. Then there's the bed. People swear they feel someone sit down, the mattress sinking under an invisible weight. He checked out at 2 a.m., swearing he heard footsteps in his room. He was on the top floor. Something's not right. The hotel never talks about the hauntings officially, but even the employees admit there's something off about the place. But that's not the worst of it. Many of them died there, thinking they were getting treatment. And then there's the 3 a.m. thing. People hear knocking inside the walls. In the dark, they swear someone's breathing right next to them. Everything. Like someone had ransacked the place in seconds. They say the energy in that hotel is unstable, like it's waiting for something to happen. They all say the same thing. It feels like someone's staring at them. The Stanley Hotel sits there, looking picture perfect against the mountains. But looks can be deceiving. The basement? That's where Baker set up his morgue. Today, it's the coldest spot in the whole building. You can feel the chill in your bones. Others say they've heard sobbing coming from the hallway, but when they open the door, no one's there. It was coming from inside the room, but I couldn't find the source. One night here, and you'll see why. Security cameras catch the keys moving, but no one's sitting there. Staff see FO in the billiard room, always wearing a suit. He vanishes if you look too long. Let's head to Portland, Oregon, where the Heathman Hotel has its own dark secrets. King stayed there and had a nightmare so vivid, he woke up drenched in sweat. That dream became his famous novel. When I called the front desk, they said there were no music boxes in any of the rooms. They offer ghost tours and even have their own paranormal investigator on staff. Something's off in that place. Like the walls are watching you. We're talking shoes, keys, even entire suitcases. The Menger Hotel has been around since 1859, and it's seen some things. Guests hear children laughing and running down the halls at night. When they look, no one's there. Guests hear furniture moving above them, even when they're on the top floor. When they try to talk to him, he's gone. Kids see ghost children playing in the hallways. He recruited his Rough Riders here, and apparently he never left. Now, let's head south to Arkansas. She appears in rooms, carrying towels and asking if guests need anything. It opened as a fancy resort for the rich, but things took a dark turn in the 1930s. She'd left them in her suitcase. A man named Norman Baker bought the place and turned it into a hospital. He promised to cure cancer. Only problem? He wasn't a real doctor. They have a whole book where guests can write down their ghostly experiences. It's pretty thick. One cook felt someone tap his shoulder. He was alone in the locked kitchen. He flipped on the light, and nobody was there. She twirls alone, her dress swishing across the floor. People hear children laughing and splashing. Even when it's empty. When the music stops, she fades away. Another guest took a selfie and saw a face in the background. He was alone in the room. She was alone in a locked room. People came from all over, desperate for help. The Bourbon Orleans Hotel sits right in the heart of the French Quarter, and it's got stories to tell. The ball rolled toward her, then disappeared. I talked to a night janitor who's worked there for years. Like the building itself is breathing, watching, waiting. When they open their doors to look, no one's there. Room 218 is said to be the most haunted spot in the hotel. Guests report being touched in their sleep. There's a whole world of haunted places out there. A businessman staying there told me he felt a strong push on his back while he was alone in his room. Even the ghost tour guides say the Crescent is the scariest place they've ever worked. The hotel is still open for business. The lights still work. But something inside never left. If you're brave enough to explore more haunted places, make sure you're subscribed. We're just getting started. Now, let's head to San Diego, California. Built in 1888, it was a playground for the rich and famous. But on Thanksgiving night in 1892, something happened that changed the hotel forever. A young woman checked in under a fake name. She seemed nervous, always looking over her shoulder. Her real name was Kate Morgan. To this day, no one knows why she came to the hotel or what drove her to take her own life. I spent a night in room 3327, the room where Kate stayed. Guests in that room report seeing a woman in a black lace dress standing at the foot of their bed. A housekeeper told me she once saw all the faucets in room 3327 turn on at once. The beach behind the hotel? That's where people say they've seen Kate's ghost walking at sunset, still searching for something or someone. Even the staff admit there's something different about the place. If you're fascinated by unsolved mysteries like this one, hit that subscribe button. There's more where this came from. Let's move on to New Orleans, a city known for its ghost dot. It's been around since 1886, right in the heart of the French Quarter. I talked to a night manager who's worked there for 30 years. Now, guests report seeing a young boy playing on the 14th floor. The hotel's famous carousel bar is known for more than just its drinks. A bartender whispered to me that sometimes, late at night, he hears the sound of children laughing and running down the hallways. Room 1450 is said to be the most active. I spent a night there myself. At 3 a.m, I woke up to the sound of a music box playing. The hotel embraces its haunted history now. But even skeptics admit there's something different about the Monte Leone. If you're ready for more haunted hotels, make sure you're subscribed. Remember, some hotels you check out of. Others never let you leave. Some hotels clean the rooms. Others ... Hold on to the dead. The Mizpah Hotel stands tall in Tonopah, Nevada, a relic from 1907, when it was the state's highest building. They say she was killed by a jealous lover in room 502. No one knows for sure, but step inside that room and you'll feel it. Guests lie awake at night, hearing whispers right next to their ears. Sometimes her perfume fills the air. It comes out of nowhere, lingers for a moment, then vanishes without a trace. Late at night, guests see her. A woman in a red dress walking down the hallway. She turns a corner and disappears into the wall. One man couldn't take it anymore. Even the hotel staff won't sleep there. They say room 502 is cursed. Maybe they're right. If you're into real creepy stories like this, hit subscribe. I've got more, but the Mizpah isn't alone. The Heathman looks normal enough. Fancy lobby, nice rooms. But guests keep complaining about their stuff moving around. Not just little things either. Room 703 is the worst. One guy saw a person standing at the foot of his bed. The weirdness doesn't stop there. Doors lock by themselves. Lights flicker even when the power's fine. Guests keep waking up at exactly 3 o'clock in the morning. A woman left her room for 5 minutes. When she came back, all her stuff was on the floor. Paranormal teams have checked it out. The Heathman's still open. The beds are still made. But something inside never checked out. Now, let's head back east to Estes Park, Colorado. Built in 1909, this place inspired Stephen King to write The Shining. Room 217 is ground zero for the weird stuff. But it's not just King. The hotel's original owners, F.O. and Flora Stanley, are still around too. Flora's piano plays by itself. One family woke up to find all their luggage unpacked and neatly put away. They swear they didn't do it. A maid was cleaning room 217 when she felt someone grab her shoulder. She turned around, empty room. If this stuff creeps you out, maybe hit that subscribe button. There's plenty more where this came from. The 4th floor is the worst. One man woke up to see a cowboy standing at the foot of his bed. The cowboy tipped his hat and faded away. The Stanley Hotel embraces its reputation. But here's the thing. You don't have to believe in ghosts to feel it. Let's head south now, to San Antonio, Texas. This place is right next to the Alamo. Maybe that's why it's crawling with spirits. The most famous ghost is Teddy Roosevelt. Yeah, the president. People see him sitting at the bar, drinking and laughing. But Roosevelt isn't alone. There's Sally, a maid who was murdered by her husband in the 1870s. One family woke up to find their bathtub filled with water. They hadn't used it. The staff said it happens all the time. A security guard quit after seeing a man in old-fashioned clothes walk through a solid wall. Guests complain about cold spots in the hallways. Even in the Texas summer heat, some areas feel like ice. If you're digging these haunted hotel stories, now's a good time to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, it gets weirder. The hotel's kitchen is a hotspot. Chefs see pots and pans moving on their own. A bride staying at the Menger woke up on her wedding day to find her veil and shoes across the room. The Menger Hotel doesn't hide from its past. Some hotels try to forget their history. The Menger remembers maybe a little too well. Our last stop takes us to New Orleans, Louisiana. This place wasn't always a hotel. It was a ballroom, then a convent, then an orphanage. All that history left its mark. Guests see a ghost dancer in the ballroom. The swimming pool used to be part of the convent. One man woke up to find a nun sitting at the foot of his bed praying. He blinked and she was gone. The elevators are a problem. They move on their own, stopping at random floors with no one inside. A woman felt someone brush her hair in the middle of the night. If these stories are giving you chills, maybe hit that subscribe button. The 6th floor is the worst. Guests hear crying in the hallways. A housekeeper saw a little girl in an old-fashioned dress playing with a ball. The Bourbon Orleans doesn't run from its reputation. They offer ghost tours and even have psychics come in sometimes. But here's the thing about the Bourbon Orleans. It feels alive. Some hotels are just places to sleep. Others, they never sleep at all. And that's it, the most haunted hotels in America. Good night, everyone.